This is a Headgum podcast. How I'm feeling, it doesn't matter. Because you know I'm okay. Instead, I ask myself, why do you worry? You know I'm the same. I know you don't love me, baby. They're trying to take you away from me. Only over my dead body. I think I killed everybody in the game last year. Man, fuck it. I was on, though. And I thought I found the girl of my dreams at the strip club. Fuck it. I was wrong, though. That is my spoken word rendition of Over My Dead Body by Drake. And I'm just going to end it there.
Yeah.
You know, that's where the road ends. The year is 2013. Okay, I'm literally Googling right now 2013 pop culture moments because guess what? I was too caught up chatting with my guest, who I'm very excited to have on the show today, that I didn't do my pre-recording homework. So now I am. And as always, we like to get all of our facts from incredible online, places such as kqued.org. Mm-hmm. What is that? I don't know. But guess what? They provided me with the most memorable pop culture moments of 2013. So, according to this, again, don't know what it is, KQUED, we thank you. They say the most anti-pop song goes to number 1, Lorde. Tennis court. What? Yeah? Anti-video for tennis court. This is a dumb list. I'm already going to say it right now. Oh, this is a tragedy. HBO cancels Enlightened, which, we love the show. I remember this. Daft Punk cancels appearance on Colbert Report with 24 hours notice. Why is this the most memorable thing of 2013? That's crazy. Again, these are facts that mean nothing to me. Taylor Swift wins every award show with her interpretive dancing. Oh, that was when she started to become popular for dancing along at award shows. Again, KQUED, we might not be coming back again. But, there's a GIF. There's a GIF of Taylor.
Yeah. Just
her popping and locking, you know what I mean? But really, I'm most curious about this person. Less about this.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. There are so many. Okay. Yeah. Taylor really was Taylor B dancing. And guess what, guys? That's literally it. Those are that's the whole entire list. I guess the most memorable thing that happened in 2013 actually happened in Los Angeles, California, and happened to be the year that my guest, Hannah Einbinder, graduated high school.
Woo!
Hannah.
All right.
Can you believe that incredible list that we just got given? Do you feel like you remember where you were when Daft Punk canceled their appearance 24 hours notice?
Couldn't tell you, gun to my head. I mean, I don't remember a thing on that list.
And you shouldn't.
Tennis court? Can you sing?
What is tennis court? What is that
even
song?
Is that song?
You know what we like to do here on the show as of late? Play 10 seconds of a song.
Yeah.
Because then you avoid copyright infringement.
That's incredible. We should do that.
Tennis I'm about to pull up Tennis Court
by Lorde.
Because I have to be honest with you, I am not a Lorde head.
Sure.
I have to be honest with everyone out there.
Yeah.
Don't you think that it's boring how people talk?
Oh, you know this song.
Now it's coming back. Muscle memory.
10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't have much more to offer past that sort of beginning intro, but.
Look, people, I'm not showing my feet on camera. Got to pay for that. I need to put a paywall up. Like I was telling, Hannah and I were on a show together this past weekend, and I said, paywall has to start happening.
And we were doing some math.
Yeah.
And that was a mistake.
That was a mistake to do
These
math.
two people doing math?
Bad.
I mean, I don't have to tell you.
Well, speaking
Shouldn't
of math,
happen.
were you a good student? Let's just get the ball rolling.
No.
You weren't?
I was not a good student.
Because you give me good student energy.
Thank you. Well, in English, I was...
Yeah.
I'll volunteer to read. I was really that. In English, if I bonded with... I took an AP U.S. government class because I was very into politics.
Yep.
Really, started watching Bill Maher in high school with my parents. he's obviously fallen from grace, but he had his heyday, and it was kind of slay in many ways.
I used to watch Bill Maher.
Yeah, he was kind of that guy being sassy on TV. You know?
He was.
He had a moment. And so watching him got me really into politics, and then I would watch MSNBC like a lot. And so I was like, I actually really am interested in politics. So I could see myself taking an AP class for that reason. But no, I was doing math. I was doing my math requirements into college because I couldn't finish it in high school because it was so
really
hard. Yeah, math and science, like
So wait, you were able to graduate high school while still needing to finish math requirements?
I believe so. Yeah, I had to take math in college for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, and a language I had to take in college. I really did not do high school. I've not done any of my schooling right.
I had to take a language in college, and I ended up minoring in French.
Huh.
Yeah, totally embarrassing because now it's like when I drink a little bit, my French is more accessible, but like sober,
sure.
No. It's
Sure.
we all get too embarrassed.
No, for sure. I mean, to commit to an accent,
Hard
commit to an accent that is
très difficile.
oui.
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 C'est très
C'est vrai.
difficile.
It's all the
It's very
Yeah.
It's very
Did you
know
take
what I mean?
French?
I did. I took Spanish and French. I
Wow.
just kind of vibed through school. Like I took 2 years of Spanish in college or in high school, and then no more language. Like went to college, still needed to do a language. Took some Spanish in college to finish it up, and was like, I actually am not operating at the 301 level, you know. And then I was like, what about French? And then I started over taking French. I didn't have a plan.
I mean, sometimes we just let the wind take us when it comes to learning languages.
Yeah.
And it's romantic that way.
And it's important to do that in a system that is binary and you
course,
can fail.
Of
you know?
course. And that feels good. It feels good too.
Yeah. I didn't really thrive in the public school system, if you can believe it.
Where'd you go to high school again?
I went to Beverly Hills High School.
Yes.
A lot of misconceptions about Beverly.
It's a good high school.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's big.
It was good. Yeah, it's big. The funding had since been stripped. There were various embezzlement scandals.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very, very chaotic. But it was a pretty fair education. But I was coming from a very like artsy private school for all of elementary, from when I was 4 years old to 7th grade. And then the recession hit in 2008. My parents were like, we got to pull her out, you know, got to put her in public. So I came from this very like poetry heavy, like arts and crafts, like language arts, dance.
Yeah.
High school or
like
elementary school.
We'll tell you what the vibes are and not give you grades.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. It's like I took a class famously called LAMP.
What?
Yeah, so
What is lamp?
It's exactly what you think, baby. We made lamps.
That's it?
Yeah, out of household items.
I bet you your lamp is cool. Do you still have it?
I don't still have my lamp, but it was like it was some like engineering. Like we were working with like
Whoa.
electrical stuff, and then it would be like, and it's a wine bottle too, or whatever.
What was your object? Do you remember?
It was a wine bottle.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I turned a wine bottle into lamp. But
that's like sophisticated and elegant of you.
It's cool. It's alternative, and you can't go to public school after that.
No, you can't go from lamp to public school.
No, it's never been done before me. I just barely got out of there alive, girl.
Did you have, because I think this stopped, but and I doubt that this would exist at Beverly Hills High School, but did they have like home ec?
They didn't have home ec. They had the only cool extracurricular thing that they had that was a class option was Beverly had a public access channel. And so there was a full like mini TV production studio.
That's so cool.
And so we would do like the Normans were the mascot. We do like the Norman News, and there were 2 kids like doing like being baby anchors at a desk, and then I would do the interview. So basically I would like pull my friends out of class to be interviewed.
So fun.
Yeah, sort of.
A little news network.
A little news network. BNN.
So school subjects were not the best. You were not. That was not your thing.
Not my thing. I really detested school. And and there's a distinction I want to make between school and learning.
Yes.
I love to learn.
Yes, me too.
You know?
I hated school.
I hated school.
I was awful at homework, awful at all of that stuff. I love to learn. Honey, I'm learning every single day.
That's right.
I love to learn. But like learning in that type of setting and like testing and having it be, as you said, a very binary like system.
Yeah.
Didn't work for me.
Can I take you back? You're
Please.
sitting in class. The papers have been passed out. The test has been passed out. Everybody has it. Ready, begin. The sound of the furious pencils.
Awful.
You're looking at your page. You don't know the answer.
Awful.
Pencils.
No,
that
I'm not
very
looking at my page. I'm looking at the
distinct-
person next to me's page.
Honey, I'm cheating.
Yeah, the whole time.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Let Me Cheat Offer.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm here because of you, girl.
Yeah.
You know that. I would go over to your house. You would pop in a little bit of a mushroom Trader Joe's pizza. We would study. I'd hang with you.
Yeah, and then that's it.
And then I'd fucking copy your fucking paper, girl.
I famously, and I've said this before on my pod, but I famously used to, in math class, just wait for this kid next to me to finish the equation, and then I just write down the answer, but like I wouldn't have the work. And my teacher would be like, you need to show me how you got here.
Yeah.
And I would be like, well, I got there. So I don't know like why that's that big of a deal.
Oh my God.
It's so dumb.
But that's the thing. Like it is such a shame. It really is such a shame that we cannot allocate the resources that we have in this country towards like getting kids excited about learning and figuring out alternative ways to make people feel smart and valued.
I also just think that like so much of it is fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like math is, if you're not a math head, it's boring.
No, it's
straight up.
It's infuriating. It's boring. And by the way, like the system tells you that if you can't do it, it means you are not smart. Like it is such a, it really discourages kids in so many ways and creates like low self-esteem and a lot of people and insecurities. And when they can't get, affirmation and approval from any scholastic systems, they will go outside of that and be bad kids, which is like what I did, honestly.
Say that, honey.
I will. And I just have.
How infuriated were you, though? I used to get mad at the person I was cheating off of for being wrong and not me. I would be like, this fucking dumb ass didn't study for the goddamn test.
He's tanking us.
Yeah, and I'd be like, it's not my fucking fault. It's his fault.
Yeah, you get the answers and I clown around.
Yeah.
I know my part of this equation.
Yeah, I look sexy.
Yeah, I show a little teeth.
Yeah, that's it.
And you divide.
Exactly.
I know.
Wait, what do you mean you were a bad kid? Elaborate.
I definitely was like smoking in the parking lot before school.
Cigs or weed?
Weed, for sure.
Yeah.
I had this like really kind of clutch situation in high school where I had many eras in high school, and I was kind of the chick who like knew everybody and was friends with everybody. Like I was in the journalism program because I was part of the interview, like
because you were an on-air correspondent.
I was an on-air correspondent.
Yes.
And because of that, I was like friends with those kids. And then I was also captain of the cheerleading team. So I was like friends with the athletes. And then I would date really mean, bad guys. So I was friends with all like the druggy kids, like the bad kids who were like in the finishing school. Like,
What's the finishing school?
Or maybe it's not called that, but my high school and many public high schools have like a secondary school that's like smaller and a couple classrooms, and it's just like a little bit of a walk away from the main campus, and it's for the bad kids.
There? Oh, really?
So if you get caught with drugs or if you're failing, you have to go to like
it's like the bad kid annex.
Yes, it's like a tiny mini high school for like kids who are like on probation, basically.
That's crazy. I've never heard of this. Have we ever heard of this on the show? I've never heard of a school having a mini school for the bad kids. It's a mini school for the bad kids.
Worth me or someone looking up the exact definition of what that is. But I don't know how to really refer to it. But Beverly has a sub school called Moreno High School, and that's where obviously you go if you're on
I had
probation.
no idea.
And I'd walk over there and find a boyfriend.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of boyfriends in high school?
I had a couple. I was definitely a relation girl. Freshman year, I had a boyfriend who I kind of like. I had one frenemy and a boyfriend, and then he was just constantly cheating on me, constantly breaking up with me. I will recall.
Your same age?
My same age.
Okay.
I recall one time I was we would like walk to Beverly Drive to go to like Chipotle after school, and he was out front of our gym waiting for me, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go change because I was in my practice clothes from cheer practice.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, don't change. And I was like, I'm just gonna go change. Like, I don't want to walk to Beverly Drive like in my like shorts.
Yeah.
Like I just want to like put my clothes on. And I went to go change, and I came back out, and he was gone. And I kept calling him, and my like best friend at the time had gone with him to Beverly Drive, and they just like totally like ditched me. And I called her, and she put me on speaker, and he was like, tell her we're done. Like he was like a sicko, honestly. And that was like one of my very early relationships. Like he was just constantly like doing crazy manipulative shit like that, and like cheating on me.
Been there. And,
you know?
but it's high school boys are demonic.
And I shudder to think of the Andrew Tate influence and what they are now. Like I shudder to think. But anyway, that was an interesting freshman year. And then so like that's what I mean when I say I was like friends with the bad kids, because all of his friends were like the like stoner like reject, like whatever. And then he finally cheated on me one last time, and then began to date the girl that he was cheating on me with immediately. So like broke up with me because I would have kept going back, girl. I was not.
I get it.
I was that girl. I was just like, get it together, honey.
It's hard when you're like 14, 15. You're like so insecure.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like you are secure, you're not. And also being in your like weird changing body is really intense.
And you're malleable. So when the world tells you you're something, or if you're influenced by something, you take that on, and you take it as like word is bond.
Yeah.
So he breaks up with me. He starts dating that new girl. And then my current best friend to this day, Phoebe Mandel, shout out to Phoebe Mandel. She came up to me in English class, and she was like, hey, like, you know, I heard what happened with and I just wanted you to know, like, you can come hang out with me after school if you want. Like, we didn't know each other at all. We had never met. We were in the same 7th period English class. And then
so nice.
Later that day, I went down, and she was like in the popular group. Like, it was her and like 7 other girls, and they were all gorgeous and popular and fun, and they partied.
Did they have like a clique name?
Yes. I'm afraid to say it.
We can bleep it. We'll bleep it.
Okay.
I need to hear it.
I need to tell you.
What is it?
And the way they got that name was because one of the girls in the group, and then everyone was like, these are none of us did it.
Really fun.
With a Z, baby.
I love clique names because they're always so stupid.
I know.
That's really fun. So you became one.
I literally was like, depths of despair freshman year, got plucked, immediately was popular for the rest of high school. It was awesome.
Did you feel that popularity in high school, like, did you feel that currency really shifted your life?
I think it did. It certainly opened up like my social scene. It was great. I mean, I went from truly having like one terrible friend who was like never on my side and really like secretly disliked me.
Yeah.
To all of these cool hot girls who were just like, do you want to come hang with us? And I just was instantly like family with them. And Phoebe is my best friend to this day.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone has a friend at that age that secretly hates you.
Yes.
And then you need to get rid of them.
Yes. The frenemy dynamic is so fraught. It's
I know people that
fraught.
still have them. I know people that are in their 40s, 50s that still have frenemies.
God, it is so...
Not to be gendered, but I really do feel that it is a very female...
Speak on it.
It's a weird thing in female friendship.
Yeah.
And I don't know...
Well,
internalized
misogyny.
Totally internalized misogyny, but it's like you know better, and yet somehow some people just can't get out of the cycle.
I know. I think it's maybe a self-esteem thing. I also think it's like an overly forgiving thing. I think it's an overly understanding thing where you're just like sort of programmed to forgive in many ways.
I also think that like women are smarter, period.
Speak on it.
And I do just think that there's more, we capture more nuance and we like ideate on things more. Like when I talk to Abe about his friendships, he's like, yo, just have fun. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, what did you guys talk about?
What are you guys scared of?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, betting, golf, and like, I mean, I love him very much, but I'm like, that's cool, you know?
Totally. I bled in her hands, but yeah.
Or he'll be like, one of our friends just started going to therapy, and I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, yeah, and then that's it. There's like nothing else to say after that, which I love, which I find endearing,
of course,
which I need in my life.
Period. Yin and yang, baby.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Uh-oh.
Your cheerleading career.
A career it was.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. You were like the cheerleader.
It's true.
In the whole look.
I won't deny it.
In the skirt.
Honey, the skirt, the palms, everything.
Tumbling,
honey.
Wait, were you a base or were you a flyer?
I was a flyer. Yeah. Point flyer, center flyer. I mean, I you know, I'm just being honest here. I don't want to brag. These are just me sort of relaying the facts.
We have, right now, just so everyone, we can put it together at this point in the episode, we are talking to the popular girl at Beverly Hills High School who was varsity captain. Is that right? Is that correct? Of the cheerleading team.
Yeah.
This is horny. This is the beginning of a movie.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of a horror movie, maybe.
Oh, honey, I can tell you yes.
Wow.
It was, yeah. I was a stern but fair leader. I expected the most out of my girls. And yeah,
I mean,
they
honey,
were punished.
This isn't a democracy. This is a cheerocracy.
Honey, you better believe the reason.
Yeah.
The reason, capital R, reason I became a cheerleader was because I saw Bring It On.
Yeah.
That movie, I was like, personality.
Yeah.
That's my whole identity.
I was dying to just wear the outfit.
Of course. Yes. No, that's a huge part of it for sure.
We didn't have cheerleading at my high school.
What was the situation?
At my high school?
Yeah, size-wise, like, was it like, oh, we don't have sports type of thing?
It was I would say, I went to a private high school.
Okay.
There were about 150 kids in my class. Mm-hmm. Maybe less. Maybe 100. No, I think like 150 kids in my class. In the city.
Yeah.
No football, no cheerleading.
Not the cult.
It was, my high school, as far as DC high schools go, not a sports school.
Yeah.
DC high schools and like Virginia and Maryland high schools are
huge.
famous for lacrosse.
Okay.
So lacrosse was like
hot.
The sport.
Really hot.
And then I would say soccer. Soccer was like very, very big.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't like a football town.
Yeah.
Like none of that fucking Friday Night Lights shit. I wish. I would have loved to have like gone to the big game, you know.
I can see you at the big game.
I never got to go to the big game. I would just honestly get high and go and watch like the girls' varsity basketball team.
Okay.
But then because I was because my boyfriend was on the boys' varsity basketball team. He wasn't good. I became the manager so that I could like travel with them to fuck him.
Queen.
Yeah.
Queen.
Call me.
I love.
But
Oh my
cheerleading
God. Yes.
for you.
Huge. Yeah, so I saw Bring It On. I started, so my background was in competitive cheerleading, all-star
Right.
cheerleading, which for those who don't know, sort of similar to the reality show Cheer on Netflix, that sort of caliber of skill. Navarro, honey, look it up. But I haven't
Gabby
seen,
Butler.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I haven't seen the show. I think
Really?
no, it would be very triggering. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
would
would be
be.
bringing back scary.
Yeah, that's like if I were to watch a reality show about ballet at Juilliard. Very triggering for
Exactly,
me.
it would be like that. Your toes
Yeah.
would ache. You'd go,
Yeah, my body
ow.
would be sore.
Yeah, sense memory.
Yeah.
It would hurt. It would hurt. Yeah, but that was certainly, I attribute a lot of my work ethic to this day to my sort of early all-star competitive cheerleading days. And when I went to high school, I was very disappointed in the level of skill, and the frankly, it's a totally different sport. And so it was a difficult transition because I felt like I was kind of losing this thing that I took pride in doing on an expert level. And I did take it out on the girls. I did. I was very like,
Work harder.
Work harder. Everyone needs to have a standing back handspring or you're off the team. Like,
Well, yeah, that feels like a no-brainer.
that feels like a no-brainer. Thank you so much.
a standing back handspring.
They didn't agree.
I mean, I absolutely can't do them, but I would try.
Honey, at that age, it's like if you're not doing a standing back handspring, like you're on JV. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
standing back. That's just you just stand and pop back,
Pop it back, girl.
and that's it.
You're 18. You're
You're
17.
nimble. Your bones are still little collagen giblets. They're
Yes.
not even hardened yet.
Springy.
Yeah.
Oing. Get on back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wow. If I were captain of a team, I'd be such a bitch.
Yeah, it's
Can you imagine me being like, girls?
Yes. You're off 5,
Yes.
6 from the top. Yeah.
I'd be like, Whitney, how many times do I have to tell you?
Point
Keep your legs
toes.
together.
Yeah. Literally. I lived that. I
love
lived that. And I was sort of having another factor that's important here is I was in sort of a meth fueled rage. I was on a lot of Adderall, and so I was intense.
How much
There was an
Adderall are we
intensity.
talking?
We started at 5 and we ended at 40. And if you're 100 pounds, that's a lot.
Your heart is literally beating out of the shell that is your carcass.
Of the shell that is your carcass. That's the only way you can describe it.
Yes.
That's what was happening.
Did you have so much anxiety?
Rage.
Yeah.
Rage against the machine, baby.
Are you off Adderall now, if you don't mind me
Yes,
asking?
I am.
Did you have to go through one of those like crazy Adderall detoxes?
I did in college. Yeah. It was interesting. It was really crazy to adjust to the idea of feeling for the first time. Like there were a lot of emotions that I did not have access to when I was medicated. And upon detoxing, I really had to cry. I was crying and I hadn't been doing that. I was very like, I'm tough. Like that was like my personality for a long time. And I was the height of that was high school for sure.
I think that there needs to be more of a discussion about people detoxing off of Adderall. I'm not kidding.
Yes.
I never was on Adderall.
Yeah.
I probably should have been, but I never was. So many of my friends were. And when they got off of it, it's like real.
You're a different person.
Also, it's just, it's like I was talking to a friend of mine from growing up, and she still takes Adderall every day, a shitload of Adderall every day. And I asked her, I was like, why do you feel that you need to stay on it still? Because it's like, she's like 36.
Yeah.
She has a job, but she's not like, I don't know. To
Data.
me, and And she was like, because when I'm on Adderall, I become the person I want to be. And I was like, wow, that is really like, when you think about substance abuse or when you think about like, not even just abuse, like when people have a sip of alcohol or like a glass of wine, and then they're all of a sudden they're like, oh, I just become uninhibited and I'm like this flirty fun thing. I mean, I feel that way sometimes.
Totally.
Sometimes for me, I'm like, if you think I'm fun now, wait until I have a margarita and a mushroom. You know?
A mushroom is so funny.
A single mushroom.
A mushroom, doink.
A cap and a stem. But yeah, and I think that we are, I wonder if the generation now that's like in high school, it feels like they're not as heavily medicated as people in our generation. That's right. Our generation. Don't get it twisted,
honey.
Okay? I don't know, but maybe that's just me projecting.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the vibes are in terms of medication.
You're not hanging out with high schoolers? You're not going back to your alma mater, hanging out?
My high school reunion's actually this year in May. Should I pull up and be like, what's up, bitches?
It's a 10-year.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure your high school has reached out probably and been like, do you want to come back and talk? Have they done that yet?
No.
I guess it does feel like there's a lot of notable alumni, though, that went to your high school.
Angelina Jolie, heard of her?
Yeah. You think they're asking her to come back?
The only person I know.
And yeah, you're like Angelina Jolie.
End of list?
At the end?
No, but there are a million people who went there.
Well, it's very Tori Spelling.
Sure.
I mean, did Tori Spelling go there? Probably. I just think I'm putting that together because of 90210. Probably. Anyway.
Never seen a single frame.
Cheerleading.
Yeah.
But did you party in high school?
Yeah.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
You drank?
Yeah. I drank.
Really?
I did.
Even though I thought that being in cheerleading would make you like, no.
Well, you know, the reason I still was partying was because it took nothing for me to meet the standards of my current team. You know, I was operating at such a high level. I was high every fucking football game.
Yeah.
So a very important figure comes in when I join the cheerleading team. Her name is... She is a queen. I was with her actually a couple weekends ago, and we smoked together. And I walked into her apartment, and it smelled like weed and incense, which is like exactly what it smelled like when we were in high school. She smoked weed with me my first time and kind of got me into like weed and becoming like a huge stoner in high school and college. That was like I was very like that girl whose personality it is that she smokes weed, because I was losing this sense of like cheerleading is my identity, because I was so constantly disappointed with the level that
all the
my
fucking
team
losers that you were trapped with on a team.
Oh my God. And I apologize if you're out there and you were one of my girls on my team and I was just like constantly pissed off. But you have to understand, I was mourning.
Also, you have to understand you were mourning and you were jacked up on
Adderall,
on amphetamines.
So yeah, I was maybe a little like stern.
Yeah.
As a leader.
Yeah. So sue me.
Sue me. I'll see you in court.
Yeah.
Yeah. The she was great, and she kind of got me into like, okay, we're gonna smoke before all the big games and it'll be so fun.
Yeah.
And so I would be like, whenever our team scored a touchdown, she and I, because she was from Georgia and she also did competitive cheerleading before, so she was the only girl that I really like linked with, aside from one other girl, Kayla Countryman Queen, who also was a competitive cheerleader before. And we would smoke weed before the games, and when the team would score a touchdown, the crowd would yell like Beverly. They would spell Beverly, and we would do Beverly. We would do a round off 7 back handsprings in a row.
Whoa.
Beve. They would yell as we did each back handspring, and we would just throw them like it was nothing for us.
Right.
Like we could just keep going and going and going and going and going. And So we just would be so faded, like doing all that shit. And I'd be flying, just being like, woo, like it was
That seems like fun.
It was really fun.
Or maybe dangerous?
Dangerous for sure is another word for it.
Yeah.
You could easily use that word
but
to
also
describe
fun.
it. But also fun. And aren't many dangerous things fun?
I was going to say the line between fun and dangerous is always blurry.
That Venn D is a circle. But
do you miss cheering now?
Do I miss the glory?
Yeah. Do you feel like, do you ever have moments where you're like, you know, where you're like, I don't know how to ask this question. I guess it's like.
Did you peak?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you ever have moments where you think to
high school.
Yeah, where you have moments where you're like, oh my God, that was it?
Yes.
Do you really feel that way? I'm being serious.
Greta, yes.
Do you really feel that way?
Yes, I really do.
As someone.
Yes, I really do. I peaked in high school. My name is Hannah Einbinder, and I peaked in high school.
But as someone that now, you know, you've been nominated for Emmys.
Sure.
That's huge.
You know what else is huge?
SAG award?
You know what else is huge?
What?
A round off back handspring layout.
I agree.
And just woo and landing it, and you don't have any pain.
But
I start crying. Can you imagine?
You start sobbing.
Start weeping.
But I really do wonder this for people that like in any profession or personal endeavor in your adult life that you get kind of these accolades that people really think are, oh, that's the pinnacle. Like you have peaked. But then I do wonder for people that feel like they were peaking at a point in high school. For me, I never felt that way. I knew throughout high school, I was like, this is not it. I was like, I've always felt in my bones that I'm the kind of person, I feel like I'm starting to ascend right now. Like, I feel like I've been on the fucking roller coaster and this bitch has been like a kiddie coaster, like, but now I'm starting to creep up like the big one, but I'm still at the base, honey.
Sure.
You know, and we're nudging along.
Sure.
But I do wonder the psychological implications of feeling like someone that genuinely peaked in high school, how you deal with those feelings now.
You know,
this is therapy, by the way.
It's always been therapy. That's what I was going in assuming. Yeah, it is something where, you know, I have lost a certain amount of, I live in a different body for many reasons than I did in high school. And, you know, that's not just because I like, you know, Adderall was keeping me skinny, like whatever. Like I then got on birth control, like things changed. And so I was at that time an athlete of the highest caliber. I mean, we have a saying in cheerleading, athletes lift weights, cheerleaders lift athletes. You know, we were... Say
that, honey,
you know what I'm saying?
That's gorgeous.
Isn't that fabulous?
That is.
It's a drag for everyone involved. Like, it's incredible. But yeah, it is hard to no longer feel like to have reached sort of the physical pinnacle of sort of success and excelling in this thing, and it's objective. There is a correct way to do everything and a wrong way to do everything. Right. Perfection is the only standard. Anything short of that is a failure. Like it is this really intense thing, and I was doing it. Yeah. And I was point flyer and I was captain, and it was like this moment where I could really latch on to that as like, I don't know what's going on in my life or who I am or anything, but I know that I got the meanest toe touch on the damn line, bitch.
Right. And that means a lot.
And that means a lot. And so, yeah, you know, you see me at the Emmys, you see me at the damn award shows.
But guess what we're not doing on that red carpet? Randolph triple back handspring toe touch.
Okay.
Fillet, splay, split. No. Oh my God, I would die if next time you just were like, someone came up to you and it was like, Hannah, what are you wearing? And you're like, hold on. And you just do a fucking 6 back handsprings.
Well, actually, very fun fact. In the first season of Hacks, I did a cartwheel into the splits in a scene because Lucia was like, our director was like, hey, just this one, you can do like whatever you want. And I was like,
whatever I want?
I'll do a cartwheel into the splits, honey.
Do you still maintain your gymnastics practice?
No.
Do you?
I wish.
Can you pop off and do a back handspring?
Oh, no. No, my body is ruined. I'm in pain every day.
Yes.
I really am that man in the Letterman jacket in his basement going, I used to be a champion.
Yeah,
like,
I used to be great.
I really am him, you guys. I have to say that.
Yeah. Do you have your Letterman jacket still?
Oh, yeah.
Do you wear it sometimes?
I'm going to start.
You should. That's
I'm gonna
chic.
start.
They're so cute.
They're really cute.
When they're real, when it's like
Honey,
actually
leather.
yours.
Leather, yeah.
If anybody out there is looking to make me a custom Letterman jacket, I never had one and I would wear it every single day. Thank you.
Oh my God. Yeah, we got our measurements taken for that shit because the uniforms are all custom too.
They're amazing.
Ugh.
I need to introduce you to friend of the pod, Adam Selman,
Yeah.
who is iconic clothing designer, legend, friends with Lucia and Paul actually. But he was, and talks about it go back and listen to his episode. He was a competitive cheerleader in Texas.
Wow.
And he also was on a Navarro type,
Yes.
like, it wasn't just high school, it was full on crazy.
Yeah, he and I are going to need to spend a weekend together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he can still do a back handspring or something like that.
Yeah.
Or no, he can still do a standing flip.
A standing tuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so I think mostly men are able to have like a long-term, like they're more likely to maintain a long-term ability in terms of their gymnastics skills. Not to say like that women can't. I would never say that.
We'd never say that.
I would never say that. But what I will say.
We would never say men are better at anything on this podcast.
No. And never. But yeah, I think like I think it's just something where like if you continue to keep up with it, like I was so into that world, and then high school cheer, I was just like, I wasn't focused on like, I was just throwing my body around,
right?
And I wasn't.
You're socializing. You have your boyfriends. Did you have sex in high school?
Not till senior year.
Well, you're making out.
I'm making out.
I'm
doing
romancing.
hand stuff. Yeah.
You're doing all of that stuff.
Of course, the boyfriend that I was talking about in the beginning spread a rumor that he had sex with me, and I was like, that's not true. Like,
what
I'm
is
a virgin.
wrong with these people?
Disgusting. I just, the damage is just insurmountable that this man has done and wreaked havoc.
There are so many high school boys. Everyone always thinks high school girls, they're the bitches, they're trouble. No, have you ever met a high school boy?
Have you ever met a high school boy?
And they get let off the hook constantly.
Speak on it.
Constantly.
Speak on it.
And it drives me fucking insane.
I know.
Because I'm just like, what the hell?
I know. It's insane. It's 100%. You're so right. I feel like the conversation is so shifted to like the mean girls, and it's never about like,
what about the toxic
rapists?
Rape boys?
Okay,
literally
psycho criminal men.
The amount of like sexual this becomes so dark. I'm like the amount of sexual harassment I endured throughout high school.
I'm sure
constant. Well, this is a perfect time to go into the high school guidance counselor's office. Hannah, welcome to the high school guidance counselor's office.
I'm feeling safe.
I'm your high school guidance counselor. But actually, wouldn't I be really good at that?
Yes.
No, but I would be too like, so tell me the tea. I would be too gossipy.
Yeah, I could see that.
I would want to know too much.
But I think you would only do the tea once you got to a level with someone, and then you wouldn't get in trouble because they would have a bond with you.
Yeah, and I would never spread it.
No.
I would never like...
You would just want to know.
Yeah, I would never have you tell me a secret, and then I would never be like, hey, Debbie, guess what? Hannah was in my office earlier, and she said something crazy.
Yeah, you would never.
Yeah, I would never do that.
You're in the teacher's lounge?
Yeah, like mixing my little yogurt fruit on the bottom. Yeah. Swirling it together.
Cottage cheese pineapple.
Exactly.
Have you heard the tea?
Really good.
Really good.
I do miss cottage cheese.
Bring it back. Why not?
Well, I can't have dairy. And they don't make a good DF cottage cheese.
No, they don't. No,
it's just kind of impossible.
It is.
Honestly, you know who I bet could figure out a good DF cottage cheese?
Who?
Spike.
That is right.
If someone could do it, I think it could be Spike.
If someone could do the food science necessary,
Yeah.
it could be Spike. For those who don't know, Spike is my older sibling who is
Also been on the pod.
New York comedian.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Godly.
And I do believe that would be the person to crack the dairy-free cottage cheese code.
Let me let you know some of the flavor profiles going on in Spike's kitchen at this moment, okay? Because they and their partner made popsicles.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
Did you see the popsicles?
Yes.
Okay. Goat milk vanilla.
Yes. Cold brew. Unsweetened echinacea tea. Yes. That
Dr.
one looked
Pepper.
beautiful.
That one did
The
look
unsweetened
beautiful.
echinacea tea.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper.
I love that.
Just Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper is my favorite soda.
Dr. Pepper is amazing.
It's delicious.
And it's one of those things where you're going, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Also, a Diet Dr. Pep. Come on now.
Take me home.
It's really good. Okay.
it.
In the high school guidance counselor's office,
Sure.
what we like to do here is we like to rectify a wrongdoing of your high school past. You can utilize this time to say fuck you to someone, to apologize to someone, or both. And then at the end, you'll never have to think about it again.
Okay.
And that's kind of, the beauty of therapy, generally speaking. You talk about it once and then,
Okay. I have two.
Please.
These are for two different teachers. So, what the hell, man? You cannot tell a student that they're never going to be successful because they don't work hard.
Wow.
Literally, it worked out. You know what I mean? It's like literally that you were wrong.
Yeah.
And what are you doing telling me that? And also, you were always being like, what's up with Phoebe? Like, talking about Phoebe. Like, you're being creepy.
Yeah.
Stop. So don't act like we're friends because I see you on your smoke break and you're the teacher who's like bad and you smoke, because you can't be saying shit like that because that damages a kid. But it doesn't even matter because I'm popping now. So
Yeah.
no. And then I would also just say, like, dude, if I have a question in math class, your answer can't be, I'm sorry, we got to move on because I got to get through the rest of this lesson. I got a question, dude.
How do you expect me to do well if you're not going to answer my question?
You're shaming me?
Yeah.
Because I got a question?
Yeah.
Guess what I'm now doing? Withdrawing from caring.
Yeah.
And now I feel bad.
Yeah.
And now my sense of self is cracked because I am embarrassed and now everyone's calling me names and you can guess which one.
What were they calling you?
A name we can't say, but you know it.
R?
R indeed.
No.
Of course. Like, it's so classic. Like, you put yourself out there and the teacher's always like, this teacher would just like rush and not answer these questions. And yeah, like, I have ADHD. Like, I am differently abled in the learning department. Like,
And they were saying that to you in front of your teacher in class?
No, outside of class in the hallway, but like
Still, that's horrific.
It's like you're making it seem like I have such a fundamental misunderstanding and lack of a grasp of the material that we can't possibly have the time in the class to explain it to me. Like, that's crazy. And that did a lot of damage. And I think that is why I kind of pushed school away, which is a shame because it could have been a really great place for me to find a sense of self-worth. And I instead just like became a little like goofball, like fuck off stoner, and like got into partying and like just doing shit that maybe like didn't serve me. And I could have maybe used that period of time to like feel better about myself and my intellect, which I now understand is not catered to this system, but still.
Yeah. You don't know any better at that age.
You don't.
And on that note, I would like to use this time to say fuck you to, you got to bleep this name because I know this man still works at my school. And I would like to say fuck you to okay? Making me feel dumb as bricks 24/7. It's not my fault that you are notoriously vindictive and hard on every single student, went to Harvard Law, and then decided to stop practicing law and become a history teacher. You were a fucking dick to me. So mean. And yeah, I would fall asleep in your class, okay? Yes, I would fall asleep in your class because it was boring.
Period.
All right.
Oh yeah, drag his ass. Piece of shit. Fuck
Fucking
you,
dumbass
motherfucker.
teachers.
Fuck you,
Yeah,
bitch ass.
exactly. Tevi, do we have a classmate today?
We do.
This is a fired up episode.
We're really getting into it.
And this is an angry
it down.
letter.
Oh, it is?
Sort of.
Oh my god, I'm scared.
Okay, so Jane says, "Hi, Greta. In high school, my best friend went abroad briefly one summer and made out for the first time. When she got back, it felt like a demon from the depths of hell had been released. She and I had been pining after separate, specific people for years as teens, but not hooking up with anyone yet. When she'd just returned from her trip, I also went away for a week, and the night before coming home, I got a call from her confessing the play-by-play of her hooking up under the stars with my longtime crush, who
Not under the stars.
under the stars, who she obviously heard me talk about at length. She never even noticed him or thought he was cute. After that, this quote-unquote best friend continued to find herself in intimate situations with people I'd been flirting with, while meanwhile she essentially had her own boyfriend. I would tell our group of friends that I was excited that someone was at a party, and later that same night I'd find her next to the guy with her legs dramatically draped over his lap. The most painful deep cut was when it involved someone who I'd actually been close to, shared music with, someone who had asked me out, but I had initially been too nervous to go out with. One rare night when I wasn't around, she found herself on a long, meandering walk with this long-term crush friend of mine, laying down in a park together, talking for hours. Of course, later I heard all about it in excruciating detail. Aside from privately crying, I wasn't able to articulate at the time how unbelievably hurt I was by what felt like a series of living nightmares. None of it felt like a coincidence. It felt so cold and so haunted. It felt directed at me, and I remember feeling so alone and insane with no one on my side. Fuck it all, Jane."
Oh my God.
My god, Jane.
That's really...
You want to talk about frenemy?
That's kind of the classic definition of a frenemy.
So it's almost relevant to our episode.
I would say it is relevant
In
to
many
our
ways,
episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that is kind of the psycho sexual, some might say, mind games that your frenemy will play on you. The legs, like sitting like this with someone.
Oh my god.
You couldn't fucking pay me to do that with my husband. Like, never. You will never see me doing this.
Purely a weaponization posture.
Yes.
That's not love. That's
not
to
real.
hurt.
Yes.
That's a weapon.
Targeting. Maybe this friend was in love with you.
Ooh.
Just saying.
What we ultimately have to do, Jane, is just pray for her.
Yeah.
That's all you
come
can
together
do.
and pray.
Because she's in pain.
Yeah, I was
She's
just about
acting
to
out.
say, it sounds like she's literally acting out because she's insecure.
Yeah. You don't have to do that, Jane. And you didn't. You've won.
But I'm sorry, because that also like really sucks when you're going through that.
Fuck it all is right.
And then to also feel like you can't, there is nothing worse than being like, if I tell my like best friend that I feel feelings for Taylor, I don't know. And then like the underlying fear that you're going to go and like hook up with Taylor.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It does. It does. It is. Yeah. You really, I've been prone to these friendships, Jane. And so I understand. And now in my effort to like understand red flags and move away from things like that, there can never be any element of a lack of happiness for the other person's success, like weirdness around hearing that they have other friends, like any of the possessiveness or psycho ego shit. Like, I am hoping. Did Jane say that this happened a while ago, or she's currently?
This is in high school. Wait,
She's currently in high school?
She's not in high school currently. No, this is past.
No, this is past. Okay, so hopefully this is just like a recounting of something that no longer stings.
Yeah,
but
a trauma.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that hopefully you have a lot more, substantial.
Yes. Positive
friendships today.
Yes.
As a sort of a learning moment from that situation. I hope no one ever treats you that way ever again.
Yeah.
Queen.
Fuck her.
Fuck her.
Love that. Thank you for writing in. If you want to talk to me and my guests, please write in at seniorsuperlativespod@gmail.com. Use the subject line Classmates Corner. I love hearing from you all. Like, it really makes me so happy. And, you know, if you are a straight guy that listens to this podcast, you can write in too.
You can.
Like, I know that I talk a lot of shit
You can write in
on
too.
straight teenage men, boys. But I would love, in fact, I dare you. I dare you to write in. I dare you, double dog dare you.
Write in.
Write in.
Partner.
Fuck around and find out. Hannah, if you could go back in time and give your high school self any advice, what would it be?
Don't cut your own bangs, girl.
Really?
This was my technique, cutting the bangs. It was comb them forward, straight in front of your face.
Uh-huh.
Cut straight across.
Really? And that was it?
And that's all it took to create the famous swoop.
Yeah.
There was this really awesome,
Which
cool...
I had. Well, I had asymmetrical bangs.
Oh my God. You were way cooler than me. I was very basic.
That was cool, Greta.
That's a fucking era. Wow.
Yeah, she's very cool.
Oh my God.
Cooler than me now, I would say.
I love her.
Much braver
Oh my God.
than me now.
Yeah, of course.
In high school, I was very like, I'm not afraid. And now I'm like, I'm terrified all the time.
That is so funny.
Wow, don't cut your own bangs. That's a good one.
Yeah. We were all trying to look like this one girl, Imbar Katz, this cool Israeli girl in our high school who would do it, and she would cut her own bangs, and we were not her.
And sometimes some people just have that hot mystique that you want so badly. There was a girl at my high school named Zoe who was so hot.
Zoe?
Yeah.
How is it spelled?
It's spelled Z-O-E, but it's pronounced Zoe.
Ugh, of course.
Zoe was so hot.
Oh, it's not Zoe.
No, it's Zoe, babe.
It's Zoe.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
She was
the
so
power?
hot. I can pull up a pic.
Would love.
I can pull up a pic.
Pull her up.
Yeah, very powerful, hot girls that
They raised
we
me.
all want to be, but
I know 'em
sometimes
well.
we can't. Did you go to your senior prom?
I did.
What did you wear?
I wore Spike's dress. I wore a hand-me-down
Love it.
from Spike. And I regret to inform you all that I was the girl with Converse under her prom dress.
No, that's good. What color?
They were black leather.
Cute.
My prom pictures are
a fancy Converse.
triggering. Yeah. Really cool. It wasn't a thing to go to the prom itself. Prom was lame.
Right.
A bunch of kids threw an after prom. And so we would basically just we took the bus, showed up to prom, took pictures and left immediately.
That's really funny. Not even a dance.
Not even a dance. By the time I went to prom, I was dating a guy who had graduated a couple years before.
Whoa.
Super cool, I thought at the time. In reality, sad. Really pathetic and bad.
Where did they go to college?
No, he started this car wrapping business, and he still does it.
Cool.
Shout out to
I
don't
mean,
know.
look.
But yeah,
Entrepreneurial.
He came back to take me to prom and very much hotboxed the bus on the way to the
Yeah.
we were just we smoke weed. It was so stupid and lame. But yeah, just did the after prom. I remember nothing. I was doing dabs in the back of the fucking.
That's
I
so
don't remember
funny.
it. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so wholesome and fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
LA prom vibes.
God, I can't believe we've reached the end of our episode already.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe this?
I can't.
I
And
know
I
we
didn't
need to
even play
do
to
senior
camera
superlatives,
too.
but I'm just thinking. I'm looking at my oracle. I'm looking at my black mirror to see if we've forgotten anything, and we haven't. I guess
incredible.
the last question of the pod is:
Yeah.
Did you have a senior superlative?
I didn't have a senior superlative, but I was homecoming queen.
Wow. Honestly, that's way, 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 way bigger than.
That's kind of the ultimate superlative.
You realize you have the anti-comedy
I know.
high school experience.
I know. It's very perplexing.
What did you wear to homecoming?
My cheerleading outfit.
Oh.
My uniform.
And would you be on a float? What was the vibe? In my mind, you're on a float and you're waving.
Convertible
and,
Audis.
Convertible Audis.
Convertible Audis that they drove onto the track.
Love that.
Yeah, because homecoming was like the football game for us.
Was it sponsored by Audi?
I have to imagine so.
I mean, probably. Beverly Hills High School.
Beverly
Anything
Hills
can
High
happen.
School? Are you kidding me? Brand deals? We were doing them.
Yeah.
2013, you guys think influencers were the first people doing them? No. Beverly had the Audi brand deal for homecoming. You better believe it. No, I have no idea.
Did you have Instagram in high school?
I did. I got it. It came on the scene when I was in high school, and that was the time of sunset pic, sandwich pic, cookie,
Right.
ice cream. That's
Yeah.
the post. Those are main feed posts.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm going through another moment where I need to break my fear with social media.
To get on or to get off?
To post something.
To be posting on
Yeah.
main. I know it's hard.
It is.
It is.
Psychologically.
Psychologically hard.
God.
You gotta fire them off.
I do. I really do.
Let those babies
Patty
fly.
has really been giving me some inspiration the past few days.
That's a
She's
girl
been
who
popping
posts
off right now.
in a way.
Well, she will post and then not, and then post and then not, and I think that's good.
It's the way to do it.
But it's inspirational. Sometimes it's inspirational to watch your friends' posts.
It's true.
We
We need them to do it
We
so that we
do.
know that we can.
do, and I salute them.
100%.
Wow, Hannah, what a stunning episode of this show we've had.
I love it. Time flew. I feel like I just sat down.
I feel like you just sat down too. Imagine what would happen if I drank a whole other cup of cold brew. Then we could really be flying.
I think the lights would start going. We'd be dancing.
Do you feel like there's anything else you want to say about your high school experience that you didn't get to say before we log off? Or should we put up a paywall and make people?
Yeah. The body is bit.
Yeah, that's it. This one time when I was getting double. I'm gonna start putting up paywalls.
You better.
Do you see how evil America is making me?
You better.
Yeah, I will.
You better.
I will.
Monetize the self, honey.
We gotta. And if you're not monetizing yourself, what are you monetizing?
You got to do something.
God
So
put us
pick.
on this earth to sell our souls.
100%. Why do you think he gave it to us?
Yeah, if he wouldn't have given it to us if he didn't want us to sell it. Period.
Okay, capitalism. He gave us that too.
Oh my God. Well,
I have a question.
yes, Tavi.
Was AIM still a thing? What was your screen name?
My screen
Did
name.
you have AIM?
I did have AIM. My screen name was Cheer Chicks with an X.
Really?
R. R stood for rock.
What?
Cheer Chicks rock. Just in case you didn't know that.
Wait, Cheer Chickser?
Cheer Chickser. Because Cheer Chicks rock was taken. So I had to do Cheer Chickser.
So you had to do Cheer Chicks R.
Cheer Chicks R.
And we're not talking about the R word that we were referencing earlier.
No, we are not talking about
Rock.
that.
Cheer
R.
Chicks rock.
Cheer Chicks R.
I love that.
Cheer Chickser.
Can you give us a cheer? You don't need to cheer it. You can just say it like spoken word.
I'd love to.
Okay. We're putting the spindrift down.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh. There we go.
Perfect. Okay. I've forgotten all of them.
Really?
Yes. Knock them down, roll them around. Come on, defense, work. I mean,
That's a good one. I like that cheer. Because I think of Bring It On, and I think of like what's her face being really horny during it.
yeah, in the battle scene.
Yeah.
Let's think. I mean, there were a lot of, the choreo was a lot of like rippling. So it'd be like, hey,
Hey,
you,
hey you.
hey you, go Hills. Hey.
That's
Or
fun.
there'd be like, it was so,
Did you write them?
no, they were handed down to us
Yeah.
from our elders.
Yeah. What was the mascot again?
Norman, a French knight.
Right.
Yeah. I was less concerned with the cheers and more with the choreo.
French night. What if you were like, Norman?
Normandy. The Knights from Normandy.
Let's go. We fight. Allez.
Oh my God, it's really good.
Well, Hannah, thank you so much for coming on my pod.
Oh my God, thank you for having me.
Where can all of my listeners find you and watch your TV show?
They can find me on what I guess is now called Max.
Yeah. Now it is.
Which is, formerly known as HBO Max.
Hacks on Max.
Hacks on Max, baby. We're there.
Yeah. Seasons 1 and 2.
Seasons 1 and 2. We're in the middle of 3. We'll get that out to you as soon as we can.
There we go.
Union strong, baby.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, look. I once again absolutely blow everyone's mind by creating the most perfect podcast ever to be created. And I love all of you. And this is a monumental episode because for my YouTube heads, and I have met a few of you outside my shows, and I thank you deeply for coming. For my YouTube heads who have been so lovely and watched the whole episode on YouTube, I sadly have to say that this will be the last full episode on YouTube. Moving forward, you need to follow us on TikTok. You need to follow us on Instagram because it's going to be clips, honey, okay? Basically, it's clips now. Why? Because apparently not everyone is as dedicated to me as you are, has the attention span that you have, and I would say are as brilliant as you. So you're going to have to just start watching our clips.
I already know the clip we're using from our episode.
There, we're using, guess what? We're using more than one, babe.
Honey, it's chock full of clips.
It's chock full of clips. So just think about it this way. It's going to be a bunch of clips. And I thank you for watching our YouTube. That is really cool because I love YouTube. I really do. Over COVID, I became a YouTube head.
Remember Bon Appetit when that was big?
Yes.
And it was like, oh my God, I'm part of the Test Kitchen family too.
It's great.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. And we're all a part of the Test Kitchen family at the end of the day.
It's true.
All right. Well, I love you all. Thank you for listening. Stay cool. Never change. Oh, and I've decided that I'm going to figure out a way to officially make a sweatshirt, a single sweatshirt that's going to say stay cool, never change, like that, in that typeface on the sweatshirt. And I think that'd be cute. Okay.
I love it.
That's all for now, folks. Talk to you next week. Ciao.
That was a Headgum podcast.